recording.
So what we have here is proofs, some more proofs we got going on, and we're given in this is angle 1 is congruent to angle 2, line segment EF is congruent to HF. We need to prove, and I told you that they're going to interchange prove and show, triangle EFJ is congruent to triangle HFG. And remember, the order is very important when you do these things. Now, I think they're pretty forgiving and pretty nice about this one because they're talking about angles in there. And they've said angle 1 and 2, so they went and put 1s and 2s in where angles are, and they already showed that given information on the picture. So E and H, which is 1 and 2, already have the tick marks on there, and the line segments E and FH already have the tick marks. That's nice. They did a little bit of groundwork for you. Not every problem is going to be that nice for you. And I also want to say that they're really close, or gave you hints on what you need to find to make it work. In this problem, there's only 3 steps. And what other information? I've got an angle, I've got a side. To complete this, I just need to find another angle. Guess what's listed up there but not talked about yet? Angles what? 3 and 4. They got something in that place like, hey, maybe I should talk about these. Is there enough information to say, whoops, angle 3 is congruent to angle 4?
Yeah.
And what would the reason be?
Vertical angles.
They're vertical angles.
Yes. Nice job. Thanks.
Angles 3 and 4 are vertical angles. So therefore, I can go up to the picture and boom, boom. Well, put different tick marks on there. And we now have enough to say that those are congruent because they're vertical angles. Can we finish up the problem and say the 2 triangles are congruent now? If I want to, I do want to. Is there enough information now to say angle EFJ is congruent to triangle HFG?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
And what's the reason? Angle, side, angle, guys. We have an angle, the included side, between another angle. Now, we could have done some more to this to make it more than 3 steps. Generally, I like to keep it short and sweet. What we're going to do, though, is I just showed that 2 of the angles at 3 and 4 are vertical angles. They're congruent. But then, couldn't I also said that angle J and angle G are congruent? Because when you have 2 angles, it implies all 3 angles are the same. So at that point, I could have went back and said, instead of step number 3 saying they're congruent, I could have said angle J is congruent to angle G, and then therefore, these angles are the same. If all angles are the same, they're similar, but we also have a side. So I could have proved in step 4 then that the 2 triangles are congruent by AS. Because I know all the angles and I know a common side, a corresponding side to be congruent. Seeing how I can change that, instead of just being 2 of the angles being the same, I have all 3. So you can make this go longer if you needed to, or it can be short as, hey, I know 2 of the angles and the included side, I'm done, they're congruent. So be mindful that somebody else who you're working with will get to the same answer, have a different route to get there, doesn't mean they're wrong. As long as it's mathematically proved correctly, you're good to go. Try this one. This one looks awfully darn familiar, like we've done something very close to it. Different letters, different given approach. So therefore, I want you guys to start this on your own, see if you can finish it. So, we're given RO, line segment RO is what to MP? Perpendicular. Perpendicular means it forms right angles. So that's the given part right there. And then line segment MO is congruent to line segment OP. So they already gave you the MO in the OP. You know me. They already have that already listed for you, but they did not give us the perpendicular stuff. So that means we probably should add that. And that means it forms right triangles. Or right angles, which will then be right triangles. So that's kind of nice to know. That's all given. I again want to prove the triangles to be congruent, so therefore we need to start going and make that happen. What's the next course of action? Felix. They share a side. What is that? How do we state that? How do we state that the sides are the same?
Reflection?
It's reflexive.
Okay.
But it's RO, line segment RO is congruent to itself, RO, and it is reflexive. That's the reflexive property. Boom, boom. We got tick marks on there.
What's that mean? I don't know.
You just said it.
Do we have enough information now to say that these are congruent? Yes, and by what? Side, angle, side. And so triangle MRO is congruent to PRO.
Bro. Oh my god.
And so therefore they're true. Your homework is going to be this problem, prove.
Don't take a picture.
I'm taking a picture.
The next problem is that one. Have a great day.